Hey, it's Matt, and today we're going to talk about the ups and downs of a startup. I know it feels like a roller coaster. Here are 3 things you can do to make yourself not so queasy. Okay, by the way, I know I just said in the intro it feels like a roller coaster. I love roller coasters. I seek out some of the best roller coasters, and I'm so glad that my wife and my kids also love roller coasters. They're amazing. Okay, had to say that. Now, why do startups feel like a roller coaster? And I can tell you, in my own SaaS startups, every other day felt like a huge win, and then it felt like a horrible thing. One day we were going to the moon. It was going to be the biggest thing ever. The next day, we better find a new job. We better update our resume. It really was that crazy. Now, how can you prevent that? Well, there are 3 ways that you can prevent it. We're going to jump into that. But before I do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. There's a subscribe button down there. Hit that. There's also a little bell. That'll notify you of any new video that I come out with. There are some really cool ththings I've got coming up for you. You're not going to want to miss. Okay, so as I mentioned, there are 3 ways that you can solve this roller coaster conundrum and make it so that you don't have to feel like every other day is very high or very low. So first of all, you're going to have a lot of wins. You're going to have a lot of losses as a startup. That's just how the game goes. But what you want to do is make sure that you are learning from them. First, for the wins, document those wins. Make sure you note down why they happened, how it happened, who was the customer, what was the good thing that happened, what was the success. Not only will this give you a lot of confidence, but it's also going to show you when times are bad, what you can do to get back to the good times. Too many times in a startup, I would forget what I did to create success. And because I forgot it, I would feel bad and not know what to do. But if I went back to my notes and I was saying, oh yes, why have we stopped doing that? That happened a lot. Then you can start doing it again. You can start getting back to more good days than bad. So if you're seeing wins, document those, make sure you're celebrating, make sure you feel the confidence, and then make sure you go back to that documentation when you have not gotten a win in a while. That's number 1. Number 2, for the losses, make sure you analyze them. When something doesn't go well, maybe we lose a deal, we lose a customer, or things are just a little down, you're at the valley, we want to make sure that we analyze what's going on. Get logical. Try and take the emotion out of it. Try and take away the fear and look at what is the situation? How long has it been? What is our lead situation? What are our leading indicators and our statistics? Let's make sure we really dive in and figure out what is the problem that's causing where we're at. That way you can go back and start to solve little problems, which will mean that the big problem will be over. That's how you can make some little improvements, little incremental updates, and get to those wins faster. Also, remember the documentation you had from the wins, you'll be able to look at in the loss column when you're losing, and you'll be able to apply those more quickly. So we want to analyze our losses. Okay, so that's 2. Now make sure that you're liking this. If this is helping you, like it. If you have a question about anything, go ahead and comment. I'll be answering those questions, making sure I get you the help that you need. And the 3rd way to make sure that you don't get too locked into the peaks and valleys and all the ups and downs of the roller coaster of being a startup is make sure you keep your ultimate goals in mind. Now, the first part of this is make sure you have some goals lined out. Things that are going to give you a vision so you know where you need to be in a certain amount of time. With your goals, you can set multiple goals, but I only recommend only a maximum of 2. If you have too many goals, you won't be able to focus on them. So if you're able to do that, set a goal, make sure that you are looking at those goals long term so that you know that a peak and valley on a certain day isn't going to be a big effect. But overall, we want to make sure we continue to see a steady rise towards that goal. So these 3. Make sure that you are documenting the wins, make sure you're analyzing the losses, and keeping focused on your long-term goals. If you can do that, the roller coaster of being on a startup isn't going to be so bad. You'll be able to weather the storm and make sure that you have a lot more highs than lows. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.